right, ladies and dudes, welcome to another fantastic episode of Not Just Parkinson's. And that is very appropriate this week because we are not talking about Parkinson's. I'm joined by my lovely friend with a beautiful smile, Sarah Trube. What's going on, Sarah?
Hey.
So let's just get off say this right off the bat. You have FND. We interviewed Anna a few weeks back. So that's functional neurological disorder.
Yep.
And
No.
And so, one of my listeners or one of my viewers said it sounds like the evil twin of or the evil stepbrother of Parkinson's. And I got to tell you, there's something to be said for that. So, why don't we just get into tell me a little bit about yourself and how what your first symptoms were? That's the most fascinating thing that most people ask me and other people like, how did this horrible thing happen to you? Well, it happens a little bit at a time,
Little bit at a time.
and then all of a sudden you're in the mouth of the beast.
Yep.
By the way, your hair looks really lovely today. I gotta tell you.
Thank you. I couldn't find my hairbrush and I kept singing the song, Where My Hair Is My Hairbrush. Be lucky that you don't have hair. So,
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started, sister.
okay. I'm a medical massage technician. I've been doing that for about 20 years before FND screwed me over. And um, as you can tell, I don't sit still either. So I'll be moving around as well. Um, that is part of the FND, all the multitude symptoms.
I will try not to move around too much
Twitchy.
because Anna said it actually made her symptoms worse when she
Yeah,
watches. If I get too wiggly, she I'll try.
yeah.
I'll try my best. I'll lock my
I'll
legs around my
try
chair.
to. So let's see here. So I have quite the multitude of knowledge in the rehabilitation aspect of massage therapy. So I've seen CRPS, which falls under the umbrella of uh, this disorder. Parkinson's runs under this kind of umbrella. There's a whole alphabet soup of different disorders, which I'll probably, as we transition with this kind of a series, um, that way people will, become aware of all these different algia and itis and all the soups of these disorders and
All the fun stuff, all the fun
yeah,
definitions.
yeah. So
Well, let me ask you, as a massage therapist, now when you started it, a massage technician, did you have symptoms then, or did they show up during your job?
I had precursors when I was a child.
Explain.
So typical child in school is usually diagnosed with ADD, attention deficit disorder, not really paying attention. I was just bored in school, to be
Oh my
honest.
God, half the trouble I got into at school was because I was just bored. I would do things to make things exciting, which I'm sure my teachers loved.
Yeah. Yeah, so back then they basically segregated you. You sit here with all the other kids that have learning disabilities, and we'll catch up, later down the line. Most likely, most of those kids were falling behind.
Yeah.
Uh, Luckily, I had a mom that was a psychology major and an English teacher. So I got blessed with that. And so she was like, I don't know. I don't know. Just like this doesn't sound like her. But I always was tired. I was always like, I just never fit the model of getting up at 6 a.m., going to school at 8. Uh,
Even as a
I,
child, you were experiencing like chronic fatigue.
yeah,
That's
chronic
insane.
fatigue,
That's
in-
crazy.
insomnia. So that was probably my precursor. And then when let's see here. I was put on Adderall. I was on Adderall for about 5 years,
Did it
and
help?
no, it actually caused me to have seizures.
Oh,
Um,
fantastic. Wow.
fantastic, yeah. I definitely had to grow up really, really fast, unfortunately, because I had to be self-conscious and aware of, of what was going on with my body. So,
No, that's one thing that I don't think people without neurological conditions, they don't realize how hard we try to hide
yeah,
or to
mass.
mask what's
Yeah,
going on. And then what I say is we don't pretend to be sick, we pretend to be well. Does
yeah,
that ring true?
yeah. hmm Well, then that all kind of started investigating. I have my eardrum does not close properly. So I think that's a precursor. I also on everything is affected on my left side. So then I had started having TMJ issues, which is probably not TMJ. It's
Explain what TMJ is, because I'm not familiar with it.
that's where your jaw locks
Okay,
and
oh, lockjaw. Yeah, that's
yeah,
so you have trouble speaking then, I would imagine.
yeah.
That's terrible.
And then I have speech issues, as you can tell. I speak a little bit slower, which
That's
is,
okay because you're easy to understand.
yeah, I, and then,
You
um,
just sound very relaxed, Sarah. Don't worry about it.
yeah, it suits me because, being a medical massage therapist, I have to put people to sleep.
Have a
So,
suit. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very soothing. I will tell you
yeah,
that. So don't worry
yeah.
about it.
I'm left-handed.
Well, that's
So,
great because it's all on your left side. Great,
yeah,
fantastic,
yeah.
outstanding, as my friend would say.
So,
So explain how this is diagnosed because it sounds like a cluster, you know what, of a bunch of different symptoms. How do they make sense of this, or do they even just they say just give up and you want drugs or something?
they just basically, here, try this. It's anxiety, it's, depression, it's this and that, and let's test this and that and the other.
So you're basically a lab rat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
no way to live, Sarah.
yeah, no. And then about high school, I started experiencing blank stares, which is, partial complex seizures. And they said that, oh, you might outgrow it. But here's the fact.
You
Uh,
might outgrow it. How comforting is that?
might.
Yeah, might.
But here's the thing, we're going to give you a regimen of 20 different pills and over-the-counter drugs. I was like, I can't do this, I can't live like this. One, medical massage therapy, you got to be mentally and physically
Present.
sound, yeah, present, sound. So,
So if you're pressing too hard and they go, ow, 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 you can stop.
yeah. Now massage therapy is not supposed to hurt that bad. So, I try to, figure out your uh, pain tolerance, and the whole goal is to reduce pain, not increase it and not produce more.
How long did it take you to get diagnosed? I mean, this sounds like it probably took several years, if I mean, if not longer.
It was pretty quick.
Oh
It
wow.
was like, we think you have seizures, and we're gonna take you off the Adderall. Here's some drugs. But then after high school, I was like, I can't do this. I can't, I want to be able to drive. I want to, do all the things, grow up. Um, so,
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you with that. They've offered me so many different drugs, and I'm like, I have one Cinemet that works, kind of, and then I take Rasagiline for tremors, and then one for the dyskinesia. So, but
yeah,
they've offered me so many. I don't want more drugs. I mean, I would rather find like not holistic ways, but more like yoga and meditation. That I can stop my tremor sometimes with concentrated meditation.
yeah,
That is so much more preferable than to being on like a blender full of medication that you don't know what's you and what's the drugs anymore.
yeah,
Is that how you kind of felt?
yep. So I kind of weaned myself off, stayed on the epilepsy medication, even though I was still having side effects from that. And then insurance, once you grow up, I think it's 24, 25, 26, somewhere around there, you end up not being on your parents'
Yep.
insurance. So lost
Get the
insurance.
boot.
And so I was doing anything, to stay on this trilopitol, or now it's called oxycarbazepine.
And this is for seizures.
Users, yeah. And I've been on it since it came out on the market. So,
So it's
uh,
probably pretty expensive then, I would imagine if you yeah.
I've seen it from the name brand, uh, 600 to 1200
Oh my God.
dollars. Yeah,
That's like 1,200. That's like a rent payment or like a
yeah,
mortgage payment
yeah.
or something.
Uh,
That's ridiculous.
so I did whatever I could with the insurance and all that jazz, which is a pain. And, back then, if you had pre-existing issues, yeah, insurance.
You were up, you know what, creek with a turd for a paddle. Yet there was nowhere to go.
Uh, yep, yep, absolutely.
That's one of the things I found. They prescribed me this medication. I got home and then I checked it was like $500. I'm like, I told my doctor, I was like, send this crap back. I can't afford this.
Yeah.
$500. And it was like some kind of patch. And I'm
And
like, no.
what is interesting is like name brand, and it drives me crazy that there's like two different medications. You got your generic and your name brand.
Yep.
They have different um makeups on different, coloring can affect you.
Yes.
So
I find some of my generic Cinemet like disintegrates.
yeah,
If you leave it out 2 days later, it'll just be powder, which is where I guess the name brand ones like you
yeah,
can split them in their they don't. But yeah, so I get the generic
yeah.
the generic everything.
So then, and name brand seemed to work better for me, but now times have changed and generic, that doesn't work for me. Like I can
Oh
tell,
wow.
the difference. That part, and then I decided because I needed to be more holistic, and so I started walking, running,
Yes. Good for you.
riding my bike,
Good for you.
doing a 5K for the first time in my short entire. I'm 5 foot, so yeah,
Oh, so
that
I would feel like a giant around you. I'm 5'7". I'd be like, oh, I like you.
yeah, so little short, little me,
You did a
all
5K? That's amazing.
yeah,
I don't think I ever could have done, even in my skateboarding days. My still have skateboard knees, and I'm like, I don't think yeah, jogging and my skateboard knees would go very well together. I can still jog, but it's kind of an old man jog. It's kind of slow and steady, but I'm like, I got to tell you, exercise. If I don't exercise in the morning, I feel like crap all day.
yeah,
And I'm telling you, my wife says she's like your treadmill is almost like your warm up for the day. She's like you come up, you're a little less stiff. And I try to get 40 minutes a day, but sometimes it's hard. But I'm telling you, exercise. Is that, do you find the same with FND? Exercise is sort of like
Uh,
it's its own medicine, right?
Even before all this, I would literally get on the treadmill in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and work out. If I didn't, I was stiff.
Amen to
And
that.
so there's also like another interesting thing that I have a lot of healthcare professionals, that I know, and one of them was like, I think you might have Turner syndrome.
What's that?
It's a rare disease that you're born with. Short stature is different, features. Um, so I'm like slowly looking into that.
So it
And
sounds like you hit the neurological jackpot in a very
yeah,
bad way.
yeah, yeah. So I'm looking at that a little bit at a time, but I'm getting to the point where I'm like, do I really want to know? And if you look at our history back in when people didn't have modern, you know, stuff, medicine and stuff, they didn't know what was going on with them, and nor did they really care. Here's some lard, and
Well, here's the thing, Sarah. If there's not effective treatments, then what's the point?
yeah,
I mean, at least with Parkinson's, there's some options. Now, if you've watched my videos, anybody know I don't want DBS. I just don't feel like the risks.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to take the risk in some of the other treatments, but at least I have options. I mean, what are your options? I mean, just medication? Is there any kind of have they recommended DBS for you, or is that
Genetic
even something that would work?
testing, which has proved that this is a metabolic issue, and um, not in your head, although your metabolic does affect your head.
Yes, yes.
So, we're just looking at the wrong spot, in our body for mental health. So let's backtrack just a little bit. Um, then I fell back in July of 2023.
Oh no.
But before that, I had been trying to figure this out, thinking, oh, I just have the chemical imbalance
Hmm.
with mental health. And I think it was more the trileptal or oxycarbazepine, because they now prescribe seizure medications for mood disorders and stuff. And so
So
me,
were you injured in the fall?
uh, yep, uh, I fell splat, you know.
Did you just have a seizure, or was it just like an accident?
No, there was just a nice little lip on the concrete,
Oh God.
and I just hit that and belly flapped over, and so I got a concussion because of that, even though I didn't hit my head. But with concussions, you can release quite a few different chemicals in your brain, and that's why some people um, like sports when they get concussed, they can kind of have the mental imbalance.
Oh yeah, the NFL's full of that.
Yeah, so and the doctor kind of failed me, um even though I was a medical massage technician, and I should have said, um oh, I might have a concussion, and to kind of stay low and kind of watch out for that, or tell somebody, hey, I have a concussion, probably watch out for me.
Now concussions can last for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
hmm
like you see in football, sometimes they're out for weeks with just one concussion because it takes a while for your brain to, I guess, heal itself.
Yeah, it can last for years.
Wow.
And it can be very severe and
It can trigger depression and stuff.
yeah, it releases let's see, calcium, um, and other, chemicals in your brain. But here's the thing, I was trying to do coping skills and thinking
Sure.
it was mental health. Um,
Well, you've got it coming at you from so many different sides. I mean, it's like you got the physical, you got the mental, you're going
yeah,
to doctors, you're trying to pay for medication, you're trying to work.
yeah.
I mean, Sarah, that's a lot. I mean, that alone could sink somebody mentally.
I own my own practice
Good
too.
for you.
So
Good for you. Well, it's one more headache though.
yeah, more of a headache. But I was like on Vraylar for about 3, 4, 5 months on a very microdose.
I don't know what's that for.
Uh, it was for bipolar,
Okay.
mood disorder. Invested so much time in, investigating on the mental health aspect of it. I honestly don't think I have these mental health issues. I think it's the medication creating all these issues because back in 2018, I did a genetic testing because they determined that was after my first psych hospital visit. And they determined that I might be allergic to, many, 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 many medications. Like 46 I've tried about 46 out of 65 psychiatric medications.
Wow. Now see that's what I'm talking about. I mean, at what point are you dealing with the side effects of the medication, or is it actually you? And it's
Yeah.
where does one stop and the other one start? And that can be
Yeah.
incredibly frustrating, especially when you're on like this cocktail. It's like,
You have to titrate off of these medications, and
yes.
it can take up to 7 years. So a lot of doctors will titrate you on, but then kind of overlap. So you might be having protracted withdrawal
Oh
symptoms.
my God, Sarah, it's terrible.
Yeah. So it's not good. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for your body. And so now I'm like FND, I'm dealing with protracted withdrawal symptoms. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. And it's been 2.5 years. They put me on
Since you were
Cymbalta.
diagnosed with FND 2 years, 2.5 years,
Yep, 2.5 years ago.
have you noticed any improvement with the medications that they that put you on since you were
No,
diagnosed?
no,
Oh
I
my God,
still
Sarah,
have
my heart goes out to you, girlfriend.
a lot. It's been a lot.
What is the ultimate prognosis of this? You basically just have to live with it.
Just live with it. There's no cure. No, it's like Parkinson's. There's no cure.
It's degenerative, basically.
I don't think it's gonna be progressive like Parkinson's per se. It's just I'll have like remission and then like stress gets high and then
Similar to
I'll
MS. Similar to MS.
yeah. But with MS, you have kind of the lesions
Yeah,
like you
lesions on your brain. What would you like people to know about FND and your day-to-day struggle? If you could just if you have the floor, just tell people what you would want them to know about you and your struggle and what your hopes and dreams are, and what you hope to accomplish by by, I guess, being a spokesperson? Because there's not. Anna's the only other person I've met with FND.
Yep, Anna and I, she's the Spanish version of me.
Yes.
Love you, Anna, if you're
Me
watching.
gusta. Me encanta.
Yeah, so I think between Anna and I, we're making a real effort and a mission to help those with FND. And I'm like everybody with disabilities. I'm not gonna shut up about it, and I'm making different missions here locally in my town, and um, I'm hoping that we can make changes in the healthcare system. So I have a petition for change um, because FND used to be called conversion disorder, and it was changed to implement more of the physical aspect of it, and it's not all in your head. Um, because
I hate when I had people tell me it's a hypochondriac. I'm like, hell, I am
no,
not a hypochondriac. It's something's really going on in my brain.
it's a real disorder, disease, itis, whatever. It's like fibromyalgia. Um, probably, I probably have every symptom, including the kitchen sink. So I do go through symptoms of like Parkinsonisms or MS isms or um, and whatever else. I've experienced it. PTSD would be for me, Anna has different symptoms. She's got more tics and tremors and all that. So it affects people quite differently, as you can see. Stutter and I also have, I forgot to say that I have a lazy eye, and that could also be a precursor. Some people I've heard have lost their vision either temporarily or, have vision issues with this as well. And I've kind of struggled with that um, as time especially when I get very, very tired, um, which is it's exhausting. I feel
I
like
find myself sleeping more, and I hate that I have to sleep so much. I feel like if I could just, I'd probably sleep about 10 hours a day. I wish I could just whittle it down to like seven, but I sometimes it's even more than that. I just get
yeah,
neurological conditions wear you out in a way that's hard to explain. It's not just tired muscles, it's a tired brain. You're
it affects your dopamine and
Yes.
it affects your other chemicals, serotonin, and it affects your there's two different cycles, sleep and the REM sleep, and it all affects that. And you need to tell yourself that it's okay to sleep in. It is okay you know, when you get outside, try to get some
Yep.
sun, sunshine. Get some sunshine. Sunshine
Little
is
vitamin D.
yeah, best medicine. And we'll kind of dive into vitamin D and my aspects and opinions on that. And at a later, because I kind of want to do a series on
Sure.
this. If you can just go to my YouTube, which I was smart enough to give it a link and then it just forwards to my YouTube,
Nice.
that is Living with No G,
Like
Life,
living.
yep, Living Life with FND.com. Go check it out. Follow me, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff.
I will also put a link in the description, Sarah.
Yeah, and you can definitely email me if you have any questions. I never want you to feel like you need to put your personal, stuff out there. So if you need exercises or, referral for something, or if something's in question, I'd be happy to, send you, other information. I will do my best to research, for you, so that way it's a little less stressful.
For another fantastic episode of Not Just Parkinson's, my name is J Max saying peace and love from the slowly thawing city of St. Louis. Goodbye.